Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome back to another episode of It's Naturally Hot. Today we have our good friend back called
Camerman Dan.
Camerman Daniel's here, and I'm so excited. So he's done with his job for the season and back, and we're having some good times. And what we're making today is similar to something that we made last summer, but I only made one half of it last summer, and that is crostini with toppings. In fact, Daniel and I went to one of my favorite places yesterday, right, Daniel? And we had mini crostinis.
And they were so good.
They were so good. And they were topped with shaved tri-tip, cooked medium rare.
Bacon jam.
Bacon jam. Oh, we got to make that in this channel. And then they also had a horseradish sauce or something like that.
Yes, there was horseradish, which almost in some cases overpowered the bacon jam.
Yeah.
And then Parmesan.
And Parmesan. And it was so good. And then immediately I said, Daniel, we have to make crostini. And then we had to remember, well, we made crostini on the channel. We did. We made crostini before last summer. You can look back. If you go back about 11 months ago, you can see that video of how easy it is to make this. So I won't say much about this other than we got some French loaf bread that was frozen, a deal on it. We didn't know what to do with it. It wasn't French loaf, excuse me, baguette. And as you know, baked baguettes they're great for making crostini because if they're not used immediately, they get hard. So all I did to make this crostini, I didn't make it like from scratch like I did last summer. What I did was I cut this on the bias. So here's the baguette.
So you cut it at a diagonal.
Yep, diagonal. That makes it these pretty slices. And then I hit it up with some olive oil. I toasted it at 400-degree oven for 10 minutes, flipped it, and then put olive oil on the other side, took some garlic that I had cut raw like this, and rubbed it on front and back of each piece. So
little mini garlic breads.
Yes, and it smells so good.
It does.
Especially if you step out of the kitchen and step back in again, or go downstairs and come back up to the kitchen. You're like, in fact, right before we started this video, Daniel said, he said, I'm so hungry. And I said, we just ate breakfast. And he said,
yes, but it smells so good.
It smells so good, right? So what we're going to make is not what we had at the bistro yesterday, although that was wonderful. I don't have any tri-tip. We're going to make a recipe that I kind of made it up. Well, I didn't actually make it up, but it's based on something that I got as a gift that was an inspiration. And a friend of mine, Shelley, many years ago, gave me some jarred, and it was a jar about this size. Jarred, it was artichoke something. It was like artichokes in oil, but it wasn't marinated in artichokes in oil. These are great. It was something like that, and I thought, if I could use those artichokes in some capacity with some lemon, they'd be a great crostini topper. So I made this recipe up, although somebody might have something very similar to mine, based on that product. And I couldn't tell you where she got it. It was a gourmet food thing that she gave me as a gift, and that's what we're gonna make is this lemony artichoke topping for your crostini that you can make for a light early summer like today dinner, or you could make it for cocktail hour for friends. In fact, we're going to go to a little cocktail party tomorrow after work, and we're going to bring a few of these over for our hosts. We're going to eat some of these though after we film this video. And it's the lemony artichoke cheesy topping that's going to contain a couple ingredients. And I'm going to go on vacation pretty soon, so I have some halvesies of ingredients in my fridge that I want to get rid of, and this is great for that. But you're going to want some quartered marinated artichoke hearts like this, and yes, you can use the kind that come in a can that are cheaper, that are quartered or halved in water. Now, you can use those. They're not as flavorful as the marinated ones, right? The marinated ones got, what do they have in here? Probably nasty things we don't need, like preservatives, but they also have olive oil and vinegar and salt and spices and paprika and saffron. That's why these are preferred. And I'm going to use a mix of both because I have half of this open that I need to get rid of before I go on vacation. And I made something else I'm going to make, a new recipe that I made up for the channel later on this summer that uses the cheap kind of artichokes that come in water in a can. I'm just using these two together today because you got to use what you got to get rid of in your fridge first, right? So we're going to use that. We're going to use, I had some leftover lemon from a lemon bars project, and if you'd like me to make that this summer, leave a comment in the down below. And then we're going to put Parmesan, right? The cheapy kind, that's finely shredded that comes from the store. It's the one time I say it doesn't matter. Go ahead and use the bagged kind because it's already a dried cheese anyway. Any cellulose that they have in the bag, it's not going to affect this. This is not a melty, warm dish. This is a serve at room temperature dish. So you can actually save a few bucks and get the cheapy kind, right? And then we'll need garlic. Ta-da! And we're going to have cream cheese that I already opened for another project that I want to get rid of out of the fridge. So you're thinking, we got a lot of odds and ends in here. It's not going to taste good. Oh, it's going to taste good. And we're going to try one on camera before this video is over with. Okay? So, go ahead. You could do this in advance. I did this morning. Fairly early this morning. And I already explained to you how to do this. Right, Daniel?
Yep. You cut a baguette on the bias, diagonally, and then toast it with oil, both sides. Mm-hmm. That easy.
Yep. And you know, this is good. Toast it both sides in the oven, 400 degrees, 10 to 12 minutes, flipping halfway or going the full 10 minutes and then going an extra 3 minutes. Gives you a crusty, super nice crusty side on one side and a little less crispy on one side, which is how I personally like it, right? Like when we were at the bistro, I actually call it a winery. It's hop a place, I guess, for lack of better words.
I know, it's almost like they serve spirits, so it's an ale house or...
Yeah, it's kind of a fun place. Anyway, their crostini was not made in-house, and I didn't even ask. I wasn't good. I don't want to embarrass anybody. It was hard, which is fine. Crostini should have a tug to it, but I like making my own, because you don't need to go run to the dentist to get a molar replaced, a cracked molar, from really hard crostini. So I don't go terribly hard. I just get it crusty.
So one side is a little crispier than the other. Mm-hmm. You have one hard, one soft. Uh-huh. What side is the side you do toppings on? The soft side or the hard side?
That is a very good question. I guess if you're going to serve it right away, best put the toppings on the soft side, maybe.
Does it matter if you're like we're serving this tomorrow? Will it matter too much?
Not too much.
Okay.
Just get a little crispy on this, because if you're going to make this and serve it ahead, like we're going to do, I'm going to put this on a plate with plastic wrap on it, put it in the fridge till tomorrow. A little bit of olive oil might soak in, but not bad. Of course, we're going to eat these, so they're also good right away. Okay? So there's that, and we'll go ahead and get started. So you'll want a bowl, you'll want your knife, right? Get that. If you don't have a knife safe, those are good to have around, I'll tell you what. Did I sharpen my knife today? No, but I think we're good because we're just going to do a rough chop of some ingredients. So we'll want this, and I'm actually pretty good today for a change of getting this room temperature. Most of the time it's not room temperature because I forget.
I always forget, and then I regret because then it slows everything down.
Yep. And in fact, I might even, for spreadability, throw this into the microwave, but I don't think so. This feels pretty soft. I'm just going to cut it in little chunks, only to make it easier to mix when I make my topping, which is exactly what I'm doing right now. Just let's work. And you're going to put however much of the cream cheese in here, and I'm using I would say that's 2/3 of an 8-ounce package. Yes, roughly. I don't know if it'll be enough to cover all these crostinis, but you know what? So what? Because these crostinis, if we have any left over, I think we're going to make bruschetta, right? If you don't know what that is, that's tomatoes, olive oil, onions, and garlic. If you've ordered it in a restaurant, I might be missing an ingredient, salt. And it's put on toasted crostini. That's wonderful. But you know what? Like I was telling Daniel yesterday, the tomatoes right now in early summer are wah-wah, right? But not really great, right?
Yeah, they're definitely not in season.
No, they're not. In fact, I think if you go to the farmer's market, I don't know if they would have any. And if they did, it would be hothouse grown. And there's 50% chance that they're not going to be very good. But they'll charge you a lot for them. Anyway, regardless. So, who cares if we have leftover crostini? This also can be froze. Okay, you can throw this in a Ziploc style freezer bag. Throw it in the freezer, and that can last up to a month or two. Easy peasy, or longer. If you don't open your freezer constantly. If you have a deep freeze, all the better. I'm going to use my fresh artichokes. I only opened these maybe, I'd say about a week ago, to make a fancy artichoke, super stupid easy artichoke. quesadilla that really isn't Mexican at all, other than that you're using a tortilla. I'll show you that later on this summer. That's super yummy, but that's what this is left over from. And when I come back from vacation, we will make it together on the channel. And when it's in water, I kind of believe that it doesn't last as long as the artichokes that are in the marinade. I'm gonna take them over. I should have done this beforehand. I'm gonna give them a little squeeze because they have a lot of water in it, and water doesn't add anything to the party. If you have some leftover marinade, which I'll put in next, the artichokes in here, that goes in here, that's great because that'll flavor it. But the water doesn't offer anything. So you want to squeeze it out like with your hands like I just did. And that's a done deal, and that can be washed just like that. Wish you guys could smell this because this has a nice smell. Kind of pickly. What do you think, Daniel?
I can smell the vinegar, definitely.
So that's what's going to kind of give this a little bit, your first coating of flavor, is the vinegar, the paprika. Definitely
a tang.
Yeah, the other ingredients that are in here that I can't hardly read because I don't want to touch my glasses. Turmeric. And the naughty ingredients you don't really need, right? But that comes with the territory, with preservation sometimes.
And you could always marinate your own.
You know, you probably could. I should scorch the internet and figure out how to do that. I do know whenever you have oil and garlic, caution, because that can start botulism. So if you're ever going to do something like that, keep that in mind. Research it on the internet and call your home extension agent if you have one on that, because some things are hard to pickle. Or what we call it? Not pickle.
Marinade.
For long-term storage, right? Short-term, couple days, that's a whole different story.
Yeah, I had never heard that about the garlic and oil thing until you brought it up.
Oh yeah, yep. I heard that about the time I started making my vinegars. Remember last summer, you guys, that we made that garlic chive vinegar? That was so pretty, but I gotta tell you this, guys. I hit it with my elbow last fall. It flew off the counter and it broke. I could have cried because we made that together and it was delicious, and it ended up going in the trash and it broke my container for it. So I'm going to make that again this summer, but I probably won't film it because we already did that last summer. Okay, so what I got in here, the cream cheese and both kinds of the artichokes. Next, we're going to go ahead and put in the garlic that we used. This got a rough edge because this is the one I rubbed up against the...
you sanded on the bread?
Yeah, exactly. Sanded on the crostini.
Now, if I'm lazy, I can just get a jar of crushed garlic, right?
You could. It won't be as flavorful. That's a good question to ask. And in fact, me and Jason, when we cook together all the time, Jason's an old friend of mine who passed away. There was a brand he liked of jarred garlic that was roasted jarred garlic. I don't remember the brand, but it was pretty good. Not as good as fresh, but really kind of up there. But I'm sorry, I can't remember the name, and I can't unfortunately ask him, right? We put the garlic in there. That was about 2 cloves-ish, right? I'm going to get out my other fun gadget if you guys don't have one of these. These are nice. I saw a guy on some Reels online, a guy that I follow. He has a fun way of doing it. He takes one of these, puts his lemon or lime like this, and squeezes in. Now, while that's snazzy to do on the chan, one thing he doesn't tell you, and I wouldn't recommend this even though it's snazzy, is if you're using lemons or limes with seeds and one goes in here.
Good luck finding it.
Good luck finding it because your friend with the bad molar is going to find it and give you the dental bill. So while this is jazzy, I prefer this because no big seeds anyway can go through this.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and cut this in half because it's cut kind of wonky anyway. Now, if you want a name for this, I don't know what you want to call this. Lemon artichoke crostini topping, I guess. That would be about 3 teaspoons. 2 teaspoons. That's a juicy sucker. You can see I used all the zest on a different cooking project. See,
that's a pretty bold lemon.
And that's called really using all your ingredients, right? Now, salt at this point is going to be optional, but you're going to have to taste it. And the reason why I say it's going to be probably optional is we got the lemon in there.
Well, and you had the marinated artichokes. That's probably also
Exactly.
salty enough as well.
Now, if you're stirring this, and of course I should have used a bigger bowl because that's how I roll. I'm gonna stick this in the microwave just for a couple seconds because it's not blending real well, but that's okay. And I should have used slightly bigger bowl. Popping that into my microwave there. The last thing we're gonna add to this, besides any possible extra seasoning, salt and pepper, maybe even a little garlic powder because we didn't put a lot of garlic in there, will be our Parmesan for flavor, and that also has salt in it. So keep that in mind.
Now we're just using stuff on hand. It's not like you could use it whatever you wanted, right?
In regards to what?
Topping these, you could just use like they use tri-tip. I saw the restaurant had a breakfast one with egg. No, it was breakfast.
Strawberry.
Strawberry, yeah. They had a fruit one with strawberry, and then they had one that had egg salad.
Yes, yes. You can put a lot of things on crostini. Now, you could be boring and put peanut butter in a crostini.
Oh, that's a jab at me. I see.
No.
Shots fired.
No. You could do that. Really anything, but generally, in my opinion, is crostini is already a little fancy, so just keep the ball rolling, right? Make whatever you're putting on a little nicer than you would put on a piece of bread. You could put
peanut butter and jelly.
Well, you know what? You could put peanut butter on them, and you could drizzle some hazelnut spread like Nutella over that.
Oh, that'd be good. That'd be like you do a lot of it. This is very flexible.
Yes.
It can be an appetizer. It can be a breakfast. It can be a dessert.
Yes, you could do cream cheese with powdered sugar in the cream cheese, and then put it on top of the crostini. Skip the butter and the salt and the olive oil thing. You could leave the olive oil because you need it to crisp up, and then you could put the cream cheese with the powdered sugar on top of this, and then a thin slice of strawberry, like for say Mother's Day or somebody's birthday, and a little piece of mint, and that would be lovely and sweet. But if you're a savory girl or boy, right, like me.
Yeah, you're definitely a savory boy.
Yes, I am a savory boy. I am. Now let's get in so that we can see, the audience can see. This is getting there.
Oh yeah, that's a lot. That's coming together.
Yep. So I'm going to go ahead now and use our cheese. Again, it doesn't matter. I love cheap grocery store Parmesan for something like this because it's not going to melt. The cellulose is not going to affect the taste of anything in here. And you can save yourself some serious money. So I'm just going to take a small handful. Probably, what's that? Quarter cup, I'd say. A little bit more or less. Shredded. Run your chef's knife just through it to break it up because you don't need these big long honkers.
You don't want haystacks on top of your crostini.
No. And then eyeball it. If you really like Parmesan, add another little handful.
As they've been saying on the interwebs, measure with your heart.
Measure with your heart with a lot of things like cinnamon and cheese, right? So no, I'm thinking just a little bit more parm. Can you see in the bowl? It's a little bit more, just a little.
Yeah.
To round out.
It's a little hard to see. I admit from because it's a very white product in a white bowl.
True. I should have used a black.
Do we have any chives? Was it chives one of the things you were gonna put on it?
Oh, we didn't run out and clip any. That's not a problem.
We can always add those later.
Yep. Or I can. Or that's where a third party comes in. That would be awfully nice. We could say to BM if he was here, run out and grab some chives, right? And then you hear
Dakota, go get the chives for us, okay, Dakota? Can you? Okay, apparently not. Okay.
Apparently not. I'm gonna give this a little blast of pepper, freshly ground pepper. And
That's handy.
I just charged this, so the light on it, whoops, is working really nice. Now you got to give this a taste. My problem is sometimes I taste something too many times, then I don't want it. So I'm just going to give this a tiny taste.
You know, chewing awfully long for something that'd be perfect, so it probably needs something more, doesn't it? More garlic, more pepper, more salt, more...
I think maybe a little pepper. I gotta watch my salt, and remember, lemon acts like salt, so I'm gonna try to be a good girl, make a good decision that's healthy. The people that we're sharing this with tomorrow, I don't think we'll have to worry about sodium, but I have to. Daniel, do you?
I typically don't, but maybe I should.
Maybe we...
Wait, we have enough worries.
Well, we're not professional athletes. Oh boy, I know you thought I was. But you know, if we were, we might want to do that. Have more salt. If our... Just a hair. I'm just putting a hair in. Maybe just putting just a little bit of powdered. I know I already got the fresh. Just a little I put in there. Now we are ready. Once I give this the go around, and I see small, eager little girl right below me, wanting something to drop to the floor, but you can't have this 'cause it's got garlic in it.
You have two of them. One's behind you.
Oh boy!
Yeah, careful. They're both down there, just waiting away.
Get yourself the inverted knife. And what I remember doing, because it's been a minute, it's been a hot minute since I made these, is I also chopped up a little in small pieces parm for the topping, which I'll just sprinkle on like that. And we're gonna, what we'll do is we'll take a picture. I got it figured out, Daniel. When we wrap this up, we'll make the thumbnail of this video with the chives on it, so our friends out on the internet can see this with the chives. So if you have fresh chives, by all means use them if you're serving this, especially for company, because it'll take it up a notch to make it look like restaurant.
And if you make crostinis, you know, shoot us a message in, you know, in the comments saying what you used for your toppings.
Yeah, what do you use for your toppings? And if you decorate your crostini, right, what do? Do you put poppy seed on it? Do you put chives on it if you're a savory person? If you're a sweet person, do you use crystallized sugar? But I think for right now, if Dan's got one free hand, he can try one, and I can try one.
Okay. If I drop the tablet, well, you know what happened. Anyway, cheers.
Oh, ting!
Ding. That is good. That marinated artichoke really stands out, but probably adding the extra garlic powder was the right call because it helps balance it a little bit.
I think so. Now the funnest part is going to be running out and getting the chives, decorating these for all you out there on the internet, and then coming back in, when I come back in from getting the chives, re-smelling the toasting of these and the garlic and everything. That's the best part, right? When you walk into the room and you go...
Oh, absolutely. That's the best part.
I'm going to set this down for right now. I'm going to finish this in just a split second. If you follow any upcoming episodes, I'm going to be featuring hopefully my mom and my sister soon. I'm going to be seeing them again this summer. Be looking for that. If you're new to the channel, I post on Sundays, usually around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock Mountain Time. If you see the little thumb sign on the bottom, go ahead and tap that, because that helps my channel if you give me a like. I love getting comments. I don't get a lot, but drop me a comment. Let me know what you think of this video, or if you have a crostini topping or a crostini that you enjoy. And if you haven't already, what Daniel, you said there were like a couple thousand people that watched last week, and a lot of them were not subscribers.
Yeah, most people aren't subscribers.
Yeah. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel, because that helps my channel grow. And wherever you're at, whatever you're doing on this glorious day, I hope you're having a great time and you're taking care of yourself and you're taking care of others. And I'm going to see you next time. Bye.